He picked the cheapest diner in town for their first date, and not because he wanted to. Ryan had been laid off 3 months earlier, and tonight's date with Mia was something he'd been nervously saving up for. He checked his reflection in the dusty window of the tiny roadside diner, the neon sign flickering like it was struggling to stay alive. "This is it," he whispered to himself. "Please don't let her think I'm pathetic." Mia arrived moments later in a simple blue dress that somehow made the entire sidewalk look dull in comparison. She smiled when she saw him, a smile that carried warmth but also curiosity, like she was trying to understand who he really was. "This place?" she asked gently, glancing at the diner's chipped paint. "Yeah, it's not much," Ryan admitted, rubbing the back of his neck. "But the food's good. And the people are honest. I kind of like it here." "Then it's perfect," she said, surprising him with a sincerity that hit deeper than he expected. Inside, the diner was half empty, the smell of frying onions lingering in the air. A tired waitress named Carol waved them toward a booth. "Sit anywhere you like, sweethearts." They sat across from each other, the vinyl seats squeaking as if complaining about the weight of expectations. Mia kept her elbows on the table, leaning forward with genuine interest. "So, tell me something real," she said. "Not the stuff people usually say on first dates." Ryan swallowed. He wasn't ready for that. He planned to hide the truth, make himself seem better than he felt. But something about her made lies feel too heavy to carry. "I was laid off," he finally said. 3 months ago. Still trying to get back on my feet." She didn't flinch. "Thank you," she whispered. "For trusting me that fast." He blinked, surprised. "You're not disappointed?" "No," she said. "Actually, now I feel like I can tell you something, too." Before she could continue, a commotion stirred near the counter. A large man in a leather jacket slammed a coffee cup onto the table, yelling at Carol, "I said no sugar. Are you people blind?" Carol stepped back, trembling. Everyone in the diner went silent, shrinking into their seats, except Mia. She turned around, watching the scene with a tightening jaw. Ryan noticed, whispering, "It's okay. Just ignore him." But Mia didn't. She stood up slowly, the overhead lights casting a sharp glow across her determined face. "Hey," she said firmly. The entire diner froze again, but this time for her. "You don't talk to her like that." The man turned, confused that anyone, let alone someone like Mia, would challenge him. "Mind your business, princess." "This is my business," Mia said, stepping closer. "Because she's a human being. Apologize to her." Ryan's heart pounded. He moved to stand beside her even though he was terrified. "Hey man," he said shakily, "just relax, okay? It's not worth it." The man scoffed. "Look at you, took your girl to a diner and now you want to act tough?" The words hit harder than Ryan expected. But before he could react, Mia spoke again. "He's standing up for what's right. That's already tougher than you." Gasps echoed around the room. The man's smirk faded. His eyes bounced between the fearless girl and the thin guy beside her, people who weren't supposed to confront him, yet somehow did. For a long moment, nobody breathed. Then, slowly, the man backed up. "Whatever," he muttered, shoving his jacket into place. "I'm leaving anyway." He threw some cash onto the counter and walked out, pushing the door so hard the bell rang violently behind him. Carol exhaled in relief. "Thank you," she whispered. "Both of you." When Mia and Ryan sat back down, their hands were shaking, his from fear, hers from adrenaline. But when their eyes met, something shifted. "You didn't have to do that," Ryan said softly. "Yes," she replied, "I did. I can't stand seeing people get bullied." Her voice softened. "That's what I wanted to tell you earlier." "What is it?" he asked. She took a breath, deep enough that he knew the truth wasn't easy. My last relationship, he was controlling. Always yelling. Always making me feel small. It took a long time to walk away. Ryan stared at her, the weight of her words settling in his chest like cold water. Mia. I'm so sorry. She shook her head. I'm not telling you for pity. I'm telling you because tonight, in a tiny cheap diner, I finally felt safe enough to say it. The waitress returned, placing their food gently on the table as if the moment deserved respect. They ate slowly, talking about dreams, pain, hopes, mistakes, everything most people hide. And in that cramped booth, surrounded by the buzzing neon light and the low hum of the old ceiling fan, something unexpected grew quietly between them. By the time the check arrived, Ryan reached for his wallet nervously. But Carol stopped him. It's on the house, she said. For kindness. For bravery. For reminding me good people still exist. Ryan looked at Mia, stunned. Mia squeezed his hand. See, she whispered. You picked the perfect place. Outside, the air was cool and the street was glowing with distant headlights. Mia looked at him with a half-smile that carried a promise. Can I tell you something? She said. Sure. I don't care about fancy restaurants, she said. I care about how someone makes me feel. And tonight, you made me feel safe. Seen. Real. Ryan exhaled slowly, like he'd been holding his breath all evening. I didn't think this date would go well, he admitted. I thought you'd judge me. Mia stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. The only thing I'm judging, she said, is how long it took you to ask me out. He laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. She smiled, then gently took his hand. They walked down the quiet sidewalk together, two people who came from different hurts, different fears, but somehow found something that neither of them expected. And though the world around them didn't know it, the night that began at the cheapest diner in town was the beginning of a story no one saw coming, one that shocked everyone who ever believed that love needed perfection to begin.